Hello, this is Kino from West Quality Roofing and Exteriors. I wanted to show you guys somewhat complicated roof that was not completed properly, and the client was experiencing water leakage inside his house. So I'm not too sure how long this had been going on for, but he's owned the house for a couple of years. So you can see on this photo here, you can see water coming out of this trim feature right above the window here. When I was there and it was raining, you could see water coming onto the drip cap, which, you know, thankfully the drip cap was doing its job. And then so this is some of the water diverters that were there. Now it doesn't look very professional. I'm sure you guys can tell this was an after the fact repair, and it didn't work. Some photos from inside the house, and then there's the some of the telltale that the roof was not installed by a professional. So you see here, this was an area that was leaking. The other notable thing is that there is no underlay on the roof. There is no safeguard against water ingress in this case. So the shingles were installed directly onto the roof sheeting, which is not a proper roofing practice. So you can see it's like that throughout the building. No ice and water shield, no roofing underlay. So here the ice and water shield that you see there is once we had started installing the membrane. So this valley here was an area of concern as well. We've got an 11-12 roof that meets a 412 roof, so water was making its way underneath the shingles on the 412 roof and leaking in that area as well. You know, for one, the valley was not completed properly. For two, there's no safeguard, no underlay, no ice and water. And you can see here the guys are working. You can see ice and water shield. You can see roofing underlay. You can see our valleys are well protected. Lots of ice and water shield. And then in this case, we opt to complete the valley as a closed valley because of the change in slope. It's just a safer way to complete this valley here. Less chances for the water to run underneath the shingle here. So what we do is we put ice and water shield, we put a flat metal valley coil, and then ice and water shield again, as you can see here, and then it gets shingled in. So there's basically a triple barrier against any water penetration in that area. This chimney had been reflashed previously. You can see, you know, something kind of looks fishy. You can see caulking, and it's a gum lip flashing, and you can see caulking, and from the sides you could tell that it was done over top of the old flashing. It's just more example here of, you know, the roof without any underlay. Now you can see the chimney over here, right? The stucco was never cut. It was just installed over the old flashing, and, you know, it didn't work. The roof was leaking. It was installed right over the stucco. You can see here all of our roof trap exhausts. There is a collar clamp underneath the tape here, and then tape just to ensure that there's no moisture leaking inside the attic. You can see the chimney, the stucco has been removed, and then it's about to be another area that was leaking. You can see here the flashing is cut short. So this is just above the window I was showing you earlier with the water stain. So the flashing is cut short here, and the water was just going right into that corner. There's about 3 inches of foam behind the stucco. So the water was going in there and then leaking behind the stucco. I know we're jumping back and forth here. The photos are not all in order, so you can see the chimney is prepped with the ice and water shield. You can see, you know, they started installing the back pan here. You can see the transition here We've installed the valley flashing and ice and water again, just to take extra precaution to ensure that no water is leaking. This is the underlay, the ice and water shield underneath our valleys. And the back pan is installed with a nice water diverter here. And you can see another water diverter here to make sure that any water that's coming down the roof gets kicked into the gutter. You can see the two water diverter here again. And over here the step flashing. This is what we call the back pan. And then over the back pan, under the back pan is ice and water. The back pan goes in, ice and water gets installed again, and then it gets shingled in. So this is that, we're back to that corner, right over here. So we opt to remove the stucco to ensure that we could flash it properly. So we had to remove a little bit of the gutter, remove the fascia, remove the gutter here to give us some room, remove all the stucco. This is replacing some of that rotten wood you could see earlier, and this is the finished product. So we tied into the building paper with some ice and water shield here to make sure that we've got a continuous building envelope, and then a nice big water diverter here, so all the water coming from above is gonna funnel straight down, and over here again another water diverter to ensure that nothing gets behind the stucco.